Hi everyone, it's Paola. Welcome back to my channel, Art, Graphic Design, all of it here. As always, before we get started, please follow me on Instagram. That's where I post the most, let you guys know what's going on, designs, and also check out my Patreon, how to donate to my channel, all of that linked below. Okay, so today's video, let's talk about non-digital forms of graphic design. I think sometimes people get it stuck in their head that design is really just logo, branding, and very digitized, vectorized imagery and symbols. But graphic design encompasses so much, and a lot of it is so exciting and sometimes overlooked. So if you don't know about different types of design, let's talk about it. If you do know a lot of this stuff, hopefully it will help inspire you to try out some new things. In doing my research with this stuff, I was thinking about it and I'm like, wow, I'm really getting inspired to try new things, getting excited to talk about this because this is a part of design that I love. So guys, what is non-digital design? What does it mean? So we can start with like the basics, like basically print design. Like anything that is printed is a form of non-digital graphic design, right? So this encompasses so much. It's not just about logo design all the time. This can be like resume design. This can be any sort of marketing or publication like brochures, flyers, posters, postcards. So basically anything that is in a physical form, a printed out form, anything like that, that is still graphic design, and that's a huge part of it, as you guys know. So that's probably a little self-explanatory, obviously. It's like digital and print, right? But if you're looking to like diversify your portfolio or you're looking to try some new things, I would definitely recommend getting into more print projects than just like logo design and vectorized imagery. So if you want to switch things up, especially in your portfolio, try doing something with packaging design. Packaging design is a great way to show physical objects, and that can be through mock-ups, like it's not actually real, like not actually printed out or created. Or if you're actually creating physical product and you can actually photograph that stuff for your portfolio, that's a great way to show diversity and product imagery. Showing your designs in their physical form is just such an important aspect of design that can be overlooked. So like I mentioned, things like publications and catalogs, let's talk about marketing design. Marketing design can basically be like assets that a company would use in order to promote themselves or even use within their own company to help the employees of that company. This can be things like brochures, flyers, pamphlets, catalogs, things that they might use at like a conference for their own company and employees, but also items that they would use to market themselves and hand out to the public. So marketing is another style of graphic design that is not just digital. There's also environmental design, which I think is so cool. Environmental design is basically design that people get to experience. So like for example, in a cafe or restaurant or something, there could be a menu chalkboard sign. That is a form of environmental design. Or I've seen like the parking garage levels or like floors of a building or something having like big numbers or signage, murals, stuff like that. That's all something that you get to experience that is a form of design that's so non-digital. I mean, you're literally walking past it, it's probably painted on the wall, stuff like that, and I think it's so cool. So stuff like signage outside of businesses and restaurants, that's all environmental design. So speaking of actually experiencing design, let's talk about something tactile, things that you can actually like grab onto. Publication design, like I've said, catalogs, stuff like that. Obviously you can hold that in your hand, but also book covers. I actually know some people who work in book design and it's so cool to see their work. There's so many aspects of that you can just layer on, and it's still such a big part of graphic design. I'm honestly fascinated when I look at book covers because there's so many different things you can do with them. It's so creative. There's illustration, there's obviously typography, there's imagery, photography. All of these things can be used to create something that goes together to create a graphic design. It's kind of this idea of making things by hand in order to make something work for a poster, an image, a book cover, stuff like that. I mean, people are painting, people are drawing, like obviously there is illustration, that's a whole aspect of design and art, but just using these elements to create like a graphic style poster or book cover is just so impressive. And like I said, typography, the same can be said with that. There are digitized forms of typography, but there's also things like calligraphy and handwriting and using those things in tandem with digital aspects to create such amazing work. And it's all part of graphic design, and it's so inspiring to look at these things and think, oh, I can do this too. I can put these elements together to create something awesome. With typography as well, there are ways to do it where there's physical objects, and I've seen so many inspiration pieces that I wanted to share with you because I've obviously done like my Tactile bubblegum one, but I've seen some other ones that are very similar and just really, really impressive. So you can use objects, you could do sewing typography, or even use sewing in a design. There's also things like cutting out paper to create letter forms and then using that in a digital poster. Like I've said, there's so many aspects of like combining in order to make a design work. So your design doesn't have to be flat, it doesn't have to be one thing, it can literally be a painted background pattern with typography on the top that's digital. Or your design can be digital, but you've printed it out, you've made packaging for a brand or something. I think it's important as designers that we keep looking into what we can do, the handmade aspects of design, the broad ideas and decisions we can make. There are so many options out there, and it's really thrilling that we get to experience and do all of it. I always say on here, there's not one way to be a designer, there's no wrong way to be a designer, like you can do it. And I'm not promising that you'll be the best at everything. I'm not the best at everything, but you're trying and there's so much to experience. Okay, I got really inspired from this video just looking into it and talking about it. So I thought I would make some projects just to do something fun and light and like do something exciting. Okay, so for this project that I wanted to make like a handmade words typography poster. So I took a piece of cardstock, a colorful cardstock, and I just got to work. I decided to just make, me and my sayings. I do random words. So I decided to make this one stop waiting. And so I just started out by tracing out the letters and kind of measuring it, but kind of freehanding it. And then I started just cutting all that out with my X-Acto knife. So this was kind of a tedious process, but like I said, handmade and non-digital. And it was just kind of fun to like get my hands into a project again. Like I do book design, I've done like physical typography stuff, but this was kind of like a fun, almost craft-like project. So I really liked that about it. So what I did was that I just measured and cut everything with my X-Acto knife, and it wasn't perfect, but that was okay for me. Like I was just trying to make something cool and I don't know, go with it. So that's what I did here, and I created this really cool project that was really fun, honestly. I really like how it turned out. I ended up cutting off like part of the paper and then cutting everything on an angle just so it looked a bit more dynamic and it made it pop. So the best part about this project is that you just get to put it in front of whatever background you want after that. So I went outside and there it is, poppin'. Okay, so that was what I have for you today. It was such a fun video for me. If you liked it and enjoyed it, if it helped you in any way, please give it a like. It really helps my channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and ring the bell so you can get notified when I upload. I'm here to help you with any graphic design needs, so comment down below what you guys want to see or any help you're needing. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Okay, bye! Oh, my earring's stuck on my hair. Probably the whole video.